She Never Died starts with a scene that immediately sets the tone. A young woman walking alone at night, passing a wall plastered with posters of missing people. It's a clear sign that something sinister is afoot in the city. A man begins to follow her, whistling in a menacing way. As he corners her in an alley, she's saved by a mysterious, growling woman. This is our first introduction to Lacey, a quiet, antisocial loner with a serious appetite for people. This isn't just any missing persons case. The detective on the job, Godfrey, is a tired, aging man who's been investigating a series of gruesome discoveries, dismembered bodies with their fingers missing. It's a case that's clearly taking its toll on him, and we see his exhaustion the next morning when he shows up to work with 3 cups of coffee. One's for him, one's for the front desk officer Janice, and the third is for a guy in jail. He's even willing to pull a coffee away from his boss, showing just how much he dislikes him. While Godfrey sits in his office, Janice is seen staring at a wall full of missing people posters at the police station. Hoping to get ahead of the case, Godfrey sets up a surveillance post in an abandoned warehouse district, an area he suspects the culprit is using. He's looking for a man named Terrence, whom he believes is connected to the disappearances. But he's not alone. Lacey is also there, waiting for the same guy. With a complete disregard for Godfrey's presence, she forces her way into the building. Inside, a truly disturbing scene unfolds. A young man is being forced to play Russian roulette with a chained dog for a live-streamed audience. Lacey bursts in and, with chilling efficiency, kills the man and then casually removes his eyes for a snack. The most shocking part? She gets shot in the head but is completely unfazed. The shooter flees in terror, only to find his boss, Terrence, engaged in his own twisted game. They both return to the scene to find the body dismembered and the incident recorded. Lacey, in a huff, leaves the scene, ignoring Godfrey as he enters and discovers the carnage. At one point, we even see her eating the fingers she cut from the man she killed earlier. Later that evening, Lacey is at a diner, seeking refuge and ordering only oatmeal and tea. Meanwhile, Godfrey is back at home, trying to process the gruesome scene he just witnessed. At the same time, Terrence is showing the footage of Lacey to his boss and sister, Meredith. The two, seemingly a duo of criminals, decide to capture Lacey to make a profit off her superhuman abilities. The next day, Godfrey returns to the warehouse to look for Lacey, who is now his prime suspect for the dismembered bodies. They decide to meet at the diner to talk, and Godfrey is immediately taken aback by the fact that the gunshot wound to her head is completely healed, without even a scar. Lacey is surprisingly open about her cannibalistic tendencies, claiming she only eats evil people to satisfy her hunger. It's a bizarre revelation, but Godfrey, desperate for a breakthrough, realizes she might be his only hope for justice. He offers her a deal. He'll give her targets in exchange for a place to stay. Wasting no time, Lacey finds and kills 2 of the targets Godfrey gives her in a suspicious apartment. While there, she discovers a girl tied to the bed. The girl, terrified, tells her to stay away, and Lacey, being her usual antisocial self, simply leaves without untying her. She calls Godfrey to report on her mission, and he reminds her that there can't be any witnesses. She then returns to the apartment to release the girl, whose name is Susie. Initially terrified, Susie becomes completely awestruck by Lacey's abilities and follows her back to the diner. The bubbly Susie is determined to stay with Lacey and become her friend, a prospect that deeply unnerves Lacey, who struggles to resist her inner voices telling her to kill Susie. While this odd friendship is forming, Godfrey goes to the apartment to ensure there are no clues that could lead back to Lacey or him. But as he's investigating, Terrence finds and captures him. Godfrey wakes up strapped to a chair, face-to-face with Meredith. She seems to know a lot about him, including police records, as if she has a mole on the inside. Meredith leaves Terrence to interrogate Godfrey about Lacey's whereabouts. Terrence and another accomplice manage to track down Lacey, who oddly seems to enjoy being beaten and captured. They take her to their compound and restrain her. Susie, having witnessed Lacey's abduction, goes to the police station to get help from Godfrey. The desk sergeant is the only one who takes her seriously, as Godfrey's boss tells her to leave, claiming Godfrey has been fired. It's here that the truth is revealed. Godfrey's boss is the one selling information to the human traffickers. Meanwhile, Terrence and Meredith are having a twisted good time, experimenting on Lacey for their amusement. A reckless and determined Susie finds a way into the compound, sneaking past a party for the city's rich and powerful. She manages to find and free Godfrey, and together they try to rescue Lacey, who is now impaled. This act of rescue triggers Lacey's rage, and she unleashes her full power, decapitating Terrence and wreaking havoc on the partygoers. The rampage ends with her throwing Meredith off the rooftop to her death. Much later, a now-retired Godfrey runs into Lacey at a laundromat. In a final, friendly farewell, they exchange first names, and we learn that Lacey's real name is Lilith. It's a calm and quiet ending to an otherwise violent and action-packed story, leaving you to wonder what's next for Lilith.